Morality is a concept created by people and societies to increase positive benefits and reduce negative ones based on that society's values. Most of the early ones used principles or commands or a mix of both. The majority were positive, some were negative, but most were treated dogmatically as handed down by a deity and were not at all flexible. So long as you follow those rules, you were a good person. Once you had defined yourself as a good person, anything that didn't fit into that defined set of rules, or anything you could rationalize as not being in those set of rules, became fair game. Humans are excellent rules lawyers and are wonderful at finding loopholes around rules. Philosophers and other thinkers would attempt to point out hypocrisy and limitations of rules, and people attack them, often violently, because it created cognitive dissonance with their identity of being a good person. They often use their list of rules to not only rationalize their violence toward these people, but show that the list of rules demanded their death. Most of us think we are good people, or we wouldn't do what we do. Or we're good enough and no one can truly be good, so just do the best you can. To a person with Asperger's like myself, believing I was good was very easy as a Christian because I followed the Bible to the letter. As an atheist, I felt the same, though after dating a neurotypical, there were some issues I didn't realize were issues, such as rudeness and bluntness, that I saw as being truthful, something I resisted often, as it broke my idea of being a nice and kind person. Also, later on, I began to realize that my lack of activism made me not a good person, but more a neutral person, as the only way for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. We live in a hegemony where people assume following God and the Bible makes you a good person. They are often shocked when they realize someone they view as a good person doesn't believe in God. It makes them have to rethink about the very definition of good. When some new issue comes to the fore, such as minority rights or the impact of new technology on social interactions, the most morally rigid are the most resistant because it doesn't fit into their neat little box of rules. The confused or apathetic may embrace it without thinking it through, while a skeptic will look at the data and think about the impacts and ethics from many angles, generating a new set of social mores to fit the new circumstances. With tech moving so fast, just like with the current generation's inability to be unskeptical or complacent about advertising and scams, we are also no longer able to sit by and not question everything we used to just take for granted as moral. Life extension, 3D printed guns, nanotech, and AI safety are issues that are coming up, and we have to be sure we do it right, and our old moral system doesn't work anymore. Last time we tried to do that, we got pollution and oil spills and climate change. One of the biggest challenges that religion has to it, especially the most fundamentalist religions in the US, is the lack of nuance and flexibility to keep up with the exponential changes in today's society. Am I a good person is daily challenged on the internet and social media, and we can hide in our old-fashioned flexible thinking so we can protect ourselves from cognitive dissonance to believe blindly that we are good people, or we can use science, evidence, and constant research to decide if we are bad, neutral, or good enough people at this point in our understanding level. An ancient set of do's and don'ts is in no way complex, nuanced, or flexible enough to define you as a good person. What exactly makes a good person? More research is needed from all of us. Hey there, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw from my channel, please subscribe and donate to my Patreon. If you have evidence to counter what I say, please provide it. If you would like to see what I was doing with this channel 6 years ago, please click the links on the screen. Thank you so much.